politics, and more with John Brown and Nick Durst, live on the UCY.TV network.
Hey everybody, it's 8:00. December. Nick, you're there.
Hey, John, how is it going? How's your work week been going? Looking forward to taking some time off next week, I'm assuming?
Yeah, absolutely. I'm actually got to work from home today, so today was incredibly good. A little weird to start the show. Our intro music actually cut out a little earlier than normal. Not complaining because I think our intro music is way too long, but nevertheless,
we're here now, and we got a big show. And just to go off the work week, John, I had off Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday. I go back tomorrow. Then I'm off till next year. So definitely can't complain. But like we said, big show tonight. We do have a few guests. We'll get to that in a second. But if you want to call in, talk to us about anything, the number, as always, is 718-717-8296. You also see that at the top of the page in the UCY.TV lobby, or if you're listening on TuneIn as well. If you want to contact us about anything, you can also write to us in the UCY lobby chat, and we will see you there. Or you can tweet us. John's at SM_sports. I'm at Nick_Durst. We got the 10 at 10 coming up with Andrew, Jason Pollock, and then later on in the show, we'll be joined by another Andrew Hershkowitz, who's going to be talking some Knicks and NFL, and we'll talk more about him when he comes on the show. But John, we got to start off by talking about the big feud going on between New York City Mayor Bill de Blasio and Governor Cuomo. Did you hear the latest rumblings?
Well, I've heard a little bit. Now that I'm no longer a New York State resident, it's a little different for me. But on the same note, I'm still a hardened de Blasio hater, and anyone who's going against him most likely has the best intentions of all. The guy he's the worst mayor we've had. I would say he's arguably worse than Dinkins. I loathe him.
Well, he's going to have a hard time getting re-elected. As I'm sure you saw last week, the scandal where he was charged for illegally using campaign funds. Where do you think he learned that from? I don't know, maybe somebody whose campaign he ran unsuccessfully in 2008 for president of the United States? But yeah, now Governor Cuomo wants to have more of his presence in New York City. So he's going to waste some money, and he plans to put like 250 additional New York State troopers within New York City. I don't really see what the point is of that.
Yeah, the whole thing is fucking mind-boggling to me. The whole thing is just, it's fucking crazy ridiculous. I can't believe that any of this shit went down the way it did. everyone that's been involved in the Hillary Clinton umbrella has been a unmitigated disaster. If you look at the governor in Virginia, he was caught misallocating campaign finances. We have the same thing going on here with de Blasio. It's essentially it's just this big umbrella of corruption.
Yeah, it's pretty crazy, but what do you expect of this guy? He had nothing but bad lows going on 4 years now. And we have, of course, Andrew will be coming up soon in 5 minutes, and he's all in on the mayoral race. He might be joining the campaign trail. Did you hear that?
Yeah, he was telling me that earlier.
Yeah, so that'll be great to hear a little more about that. Other news here is, did you hear what that moron Lena Dunham said this week?
Yeah, where she wished she didn't get an abortion, but she wishes that she had, which I don't understand. Even she's obviously virtue signaling there, she's trying to attach herself to some sort of movement, but I don't understand what she's getting at. I don't understand her. I don't understand her whatsoever. Who is she trying to support there? What's the message? What's the point to? Oh man, I wish I would have gotten an abortion.
She's absolute trash. I mean, I don't even know what else to say. It's a disgusting comment to say that. And she's one of those people who really is never true to her word. One of the celebrities who said when Donald Trump if he wins, I'm going to leave the country. But that did not happen. Isn't that right? Her and Amy Schumer, a favorite of yours, really backtracked there.
Yeah, so I just got a hold of Sean, did you listen to the show last week or no?
I did, but unfortunately I could not hear him because audio.
Yeah, that's the case. We couldn't hear him last week, so I told him, listen, we'd get you on this week. We'll try to call you. We're gonna add him to the call right now. Add him to the group call. See if the Skype's working. See if we can't get a hold of Sean, and see if we can't figure out what Sean's actual opinions and thoughts are, because we could barely hear him last week. I think I could hear him better than everyone else listening. So sometimes it would sound like just me talking to myself. I listened to the after audio, and it wasn't very good. It was just no one was even asking. It sounded like no one was asking me questions. It was just me sort of talking to myself.
All right, so, we got while you go to connect him, we'll read the chat comments here. Got some interesting comments here on sports, politics, and more. Cracker saying, with the kids out, the traffic in the morning is a lot better. Well, yeah, we all know that. It's a lot easier to get to work when kids aren't going to school. And Hopper HB says, one of the reasons my kids are homeschooled is so I don't have to do plays and sports. Well, your kids are missing out. They're not being in extracurricular activities such as sports, whether it's within the school system or without it. Jules talking about Governor Cuomo, saying he wants to hang his brother Chris, who is on CNN now. And, Jules points out just a few days before Christmas, so we'll have to announce at this time, me and John will be presenting the first ever Spammy Awards next week, similar to the Oscars, the Grammys, the ESPYs, the Slammys, and we're going to be giving out some awards for the end of the year. It's going to be a great show, and we'll still have 10 of 10, but we're going to have some crazy categories, and it's great to look forward to. John, do we have Sean up?
No, I don't have him on yet, but we're about to bump into Andrew, so I'm going to get Andrew on, then we'll try to get Sean on. So we'll get him on. We'll get it figured out. But I think Andrew's 10 to 10 is coming on right about now. Let's see if Andrew's ready for us. Do you know what his 10 to 10 is supposed to be?
Tonight, Andrew's 10 to 10 is the top 10 gifts for the holiday season.
Oh, nice. Very topical. I like it.
Andrew points out in the chat is for some reason, here in New York, we have self-serve guests. Yes, we do. Unlike New Jersey.
Hello.
Hey, Andrew. What's going on, brother?
How's it going, man?
I'm doing good. I heard about listen, I'm aware of Governor Cuomo versus Mayor de Blasio because, again, I live in Queens, so I keep an eye on this stuff. Oh, boy.
Yeah, it's a disaster.
It proves that his party hates him more every day.
And Andrew, before you started 10 at 10, real quick, why don't you tell everybody who tweeted you last week?
Yeah, so Nick was hinting about the campaign trail. Yes, I'm going to be involved in it, and I'm hoping either way, but I will be. Bo Dietl, believe it or not, I did a YouTube video about it, tweeted at me to call his office, and that was an interesting tweet. So I have this number, which I'm not going to give out because if Bo's listening, he'll be like, "Why'd you give my 212 number out?" You know. So I have it, and first week in January, I'm hoping that I get to speak to him over the phone, and maybe something interesting will happen.
And John, let me tell you this. Andrew did not tell you this, but he said when he's working for Bo, he's going to get Bo on our show. So
Perfect.
we'll have a mayor.
Listen, I will try my best. I will definitely try my best because he actually likes being interviewed by Hannity and Imus. Tonight he's actually going to be on Hannity.
Listen, when you talk about the all-time, great media Mongols or whatever, you got Hannity, you got Imus, and you got John. So
Yeah.
I think we're in good company there. But Andrew, I'll just tell everybody what time it is right now.
Oh yeah, it's our segment, everybody.
And now it's time for the spam 10 at 10.
All right. This week we are going to talk about holiday gifts. Now, why am I talking about it? Well, you only got about 3 shopping days left until Christmas.
And
And
Hanukkah.
with these online oh yes, the first night of Hanukkah is on Saturday. Yes, 2 more days until Hanukkah. Yes, but Amazon Prime, they're getting crazy with last minute orders, and they're saying you can order on the 24th for some items. But here's some ideas that if you have Amazon Prime, or maybe you want to do fast shipping on eBay, which maybe UPS will be in a rush. Here's some ideas. So we're going to do 10 to 1 like I normally do. So let's start off with number 10. For the selfie freak, Lumiere selfie phone case for the woman who loves to take selfies wherever she goes.
Huh? What is that?
It's basically a phone case, and what happens is it helps you take selfies a bit easier.
Okay, very interesting. So is that something you'd like for Hanukkah?
No, it's really intended for the lady who always takes selfies a lot, because a lot of them do nowadays.
Number nine, keep moving here.
Okay, so you want to freshen up the house for the holidays, give it a nice scent. So we're gonna go with the homemade brand Fresh Life Candle.
A candle. All right, John, what do you think about that?
That's a shitty gift.
One.
Don't buy me a candle. That's a shit gift. That's something you buy your neighbor.
But it's homemade. He's not gonna buy it. Andrew's gonna make it. Andrew, how would you make a candle?
Well, the people over at Fresh Life, they have people who make it in America, so it's American made. That's why I'm promoting it.
All right, excellent. American made, can't go wrong with that. Number 8.
All right, so for the kids who are listening, and a lot of them are, asking for this gift, and might not be a good idea to go to a store and get it, but try to order it online. The Hatchimal eggs. Every kid is asking for this toy. In fact, I just found out that a bunch of toy stores have already said that good luck finding them in retail, because a lot of people got on this gift, like the Cabbage Patch Kids.
See, I've been hearing about this. I really don't know what it is. John, did you happen to get this for your daughter?
No. I'm not a fucking asshole. This is essentially like if you guys remember Tickle Me Elmo. Andrew, I don't think you're old enough to remember that, but Tickle Me Elmo was sort of the same idea. But it's asshole parents who like getting into this nonsense. Listen, my daughter's a year and a half. She didn't give a fuck about some stupid egg toy. And in reality, this is essentially all it is a Tamagotchi, except it's like it's a real egg. But when it hatches, it's a stuffed animal. So who gives a shit? It's one of those sort of like fake rush things. I know for a fact. So they retail if you bought them without a rush at $39.99, but they're getting sold on eBay for like $250. So that's a goddamn waste. All the women in my office are all buying them for their kids because they're fucking stupid.
Oh my
Oh
god.
my gosh. All right. Next on the list, Andrew.
All right, number 7, for people who love wireless technology, you ever have a problem with your padlock in general? Well, this is why the master lock padlock comes in. Basically, you enter the code on your phone, and it sends a wireless signal to the padlock, unlocking it.
That is kind of cool.
All right, number 6,
Interesting.
pet chats. Ever wonder what your pet is doing when you're not at home? Well, pet chats is a camera that basically shows you what your pet is doing in real time. As long as you have internet access and you download their app, you'll be able to see your furry friend wherever you are.
That's kind of cool. I'd actually buy that.
Okay, so we're going to focus on the kitchen for a sec, the next two. Number 5, we're going to go with the Anova Precision Cooking Thermometer. Now, you want to be accurate about the cooking temperature and basically wondering, oh, is my food well done enough? Well, this is a digital thermometer that basically reads out to you how hot or cold your food is in general. So you want to cook chicken. Okay, it's too cold. That's why the digital layout is a very key factor in this thermometer.
Yeah, but who you buying a thermometer for Christmas? Hey, girlfriend, I love you so much. Here's a thermometer. You know, that's not like a real gift, man. You
I'm
get
talking about like for a housewife. That's what I'm focusing on here.
This is the
Listen, I'm married to a housewife right now. If I bought a thermometer, she'd kick my ass.
What kind of thermometer is this for? Like a child to take the temperature?
No, it's for cooking. It's for cooking.
Oh, okay. All right. How about a piece of cork sticking under the tray?
Or a piece of
keep it
cork
warm.
underneath the tree.
You know, for all the cold nights out there, we'll buy some fucking firewood.
How about an ornament or a Christmas tree? Or how about a scarf or some gloves? All right, Andrew. Number 5, I think we're up to, right?
Oh, we're up to number 4.
Number 4. Okay.
Now, for the people who are very sensitive about their weight, there is a precision measuring cup called branded by Taylor. Sorry for miswording my words here. But yeah, basically with this, it's another digital readout that tells you how many ounces you're putting in a cup. So for you people who are on diets, this will definitely help.
Listen, Andrew, just for the record, if you buy a fat person something to help them on their diet for Christmas, they're gonna be fucking pissed.
We got a
This is
comment
for
in
the
the chat.
fat fucking yellow.
We got a comment in the chat from Jules in regards to number 5 on the list. The thermometer is fun if you get the whole weather station. And then she writes, "Oh, cooking thermometer. LOL. Get 2."
Well, you need a cooking thermometer.
Who is this shopping list for? Just a general shopping list?
Yeah.
No, this is a universal one for the housewife, for the man, and for
All right, I can't wait to hear the top 3. Number 3, go ahead.
They're all technology related and they're in high demand. So number 3 is the Amazon Echo.
That's not bad. I actually got that from my parents last year. That thing's fucking cool.
Well, a lot of the Amazon's been getting very high demand for this product that basically is a home information system that tells you the weather, traffic, plays music, controls your thermometer. Even Google, they have their own brand now. So, yeah, it's a very competitive market for these devices.
Anyway, number 2.
Number 2.
A lot of people want it. I know YouTuber who I keep an eye on a lot. He just got it for the holidays. The iPhone 7.
This is a household item. I don't understand, Andrew. This list is just all over the place.
It's a universal list.
All right, and number 1's got to be the Universal Championship from WWEshop.com, right? Doesn't get any more universal than that.
That's a separate list, but for all you video game people that do not have the Xbox One or the PS4, the reason why I put it number 1 on the list until Christmas Eve the Xbox One S and the PlayStation 4 Slim, because everything's getting competitive with Christmas, both are now listed at $249. And Walmart, just to let people know, if you put a store pickup order on December 23rd, which is this Friday, you can go into Walmart on Christmas Eve and pick up your console. But remember, 9:45 Friday, you have to place the order online to pick it up in the store.
Wow, so there you have it. Some great shopping advice by the phenomenal one, AJ Pollock. Andrew, give our listeners a nice holiday greeting before.
Hang on.
This has been a spam.
Okay. I got 9 more minutes to kill. I figured my holiday message is this to everybody. I know things have been crazy this year with the election and celebrity deaths and any other personal stuff you may have gone through in 2016. But you gotta remember this. This is the happiest time of the year. Try to be jolly for the next couple of days and then get ready for the new year. But just be there with your family, be there with your friends, and, you know, just enjoy all the good food you're going to get the next couple of days.
All right.
For the people traveling, take it easy on the roads if you've been hit with snow recently.
All right. Andrew's got you covered. Andrew, any more gridlock days coming up in New York City, since we know you love gridlock?
Yes. Today was one of them. Tomorrow and Friday will be the last two of 2016. And yeah, keep that in mind if you're trying to get in and out of Manhattan.
John, any traffic today?
I worked from home today.
I was in Manhattan yesterday.
I didn't hear any traffic problems today, but I was home as well. And then Andrew, next week, you looking forward to the Spammy Awards?
Oh boy, what is that going to be about?
Going to be awards for the year, you know, like biggest idiot, dumbest writer for the New York Daily News. I think John knows who that's going to be. Things like that. And of course, we got a special 10 at 10 next week. Do you remember what it's going to be and want to tell the listeners?
Oh yeah, the 10 most memorable things about 2016.
Yep, don't give any away, but we'll definitely be looking forward to that.
I know a lot of it's going to be sports. I know that.
Well, looking forward to that. And speaking of sports, John, we got to talk about this. A few weeks ago, I brought it up first here on the show. Now it seems like Sandy Alderson, Mets show.
McCutchen.
And the Mets might be getting McCutchen. They got to get it done. The hashtags go all over the place on Twitter. You even had Steve Gelbs tweeting it. What do you think,
we got it out there. Hey, Sean, you on the line?
I'm good to join you guys.
Hey, we finally got Sean on the line. Sean, what do you think about this? What do you think about McCutchen?
I mean, it would be a fantasy, but if he gets on the team, that's definitely a huge playoff point. Putting Cespedes, you're gonna have to deal Bruce or Grandison. Would you rather run?
Well, talking about moving Bruce or Grandison, they'd have to move both probably, and hopefully you can. Nobody wants Jay Bruce though, John. So I don't think this is gonna ever happen.
No, I think it will, man. Because here's the thing. What you call it? Jay Bruce was leading the league in home runs and RBIs before he got traded to the Mets. He probably just can't play in this market, and he could probably tear that shit up right in Pittsburgh.
Maybe he can't play outside of Cincinnati. I don't know. I just don't think anyone's going to want him. And then Andrew was flipping out the other day when I was talking to him. He was saying, oh, the Mets can't trade Grandison. They're going to lose all of his speed and power. I was like, what speed?
Andrew needs a time machine to go back to fucking 2007.
You guys got to understand this. Grandison still has a lot left to offer. He needs to be in the lineup. But again, they have to trade Bruce. They have to trade him.
How old is Grandison? I mean, he's done great for them, but time to go.
Grandison's probably like 35.
Hang on, guys. I'm Googling it.
He's reached his peak. I would get rid of him.
35, exactly.
35, yeah.
Yeah, take him. He's reached his peak. He did some great things for us, but it's time to move on.
Yeah, remember, I'm a Yankees fan, so I remember what he did for the Yankees.
Right. So Grandison, great clubhouse guy, but John, you got to bring in the MVP of 2 years ago.
Absolutely.
After you let an MVP candidate walk out the door last season, you bring him.
I would bring McCutcheon in, yes.
Put McCutcheon in center, Conforto right, trade Dom Smith, trade Robert Giselman, trade Lagares. You could give them Bruce for nothing if they want. And there you go, win the World Series. As simple as that.
How about this? Why don't you move Bruce to first base?
Yeah, I'd love to get rid of Duda.
No, do not put Jay Bruce at first base.
Why?
No!
No!
All right, Andrew is flipping out here. He's not giving us much of a reason, though. Andrew, why would you not put Jay Bruce, who has played first base, at first base?
Because dude is the first baseman.
Duda
That's
played
not a
3
reason.
games last year. How is he the first baseman? He shouldn't be guaranteed anything. He sucks.
Who else would you want to put at first base then?
Jay Bruce!
Who else did Jay Bruce?
John, can you talk some sense into Andrew?
Andrew, I think you're harping on the past, man. Listen, baseball's about what's good right now, not what was good in the past. I like Duda. I think he's a good guy or whatever. But listen, he's hot and cold, and he can't play every day. If you can't play every day, we got no room for you. You and David Wright can go fucking take a fucking jog.
Oh, goodness sakes. Well, if Jay Bruce wants to play first base, he has to prove it in spring training. That's what I tell him.
All right. Hey, Andrew, we got to let you go. I want to interview Sean real quick.
Knicks guy on coming up.
Yeah, we got another guy coming up. So thank you, Andrew. We'll talk to you next week.
One more thing. Remember, everybody, Bo Dietl, 10 o'clock on Fox News tonight with Hannity, if you guys are interested.
Eastern, Andrew. Come on.
All right.
We got a global audience here, Andrew. Get with it.
All right. Bye-bye now.
Jeez. What the heck was up with Andrew tonight? Very nonchalant with his terrible 10 of 10 with these random household items. And then he's going nuts over Jay Bruce, and he doesn't even give any reasoning.
Listen,
unbelievable. Not a good job, our field reporter Andrew tonight.
It's my fault. We didn't have our production lunch this week because I work from home.
That's true.
Last week was a little questionable. Old
Yeah,
video
his questions were a little crazy this week. So, Sean, did you see the new Star Wars movie? Give us a review.
I did. Awesome. Great. Hope right before. But overall, so right before episode 4 to our time with Death Star plan, absolutely awesome. Action-packed. Vader, one of the highlights of the movie. He's in it brief. The entire time he's on screen, you're glued.
Oh, no doubt. I've actually heard there's a group of people on the internet who are boycotting the Star Wars movies because it's like too PC or some shit. Did you see anything in the movie that was just like, like diversity dildo, rainbow dildo in your ass?
All right. Well, I heard some things that they were edited or cut out. One of the bigger scenes being kind of this guy similar to one of the main Nazi guys in Big Bastards. Empire guy killed one. High-end general. There's a scene that they edited out where he's on the beach and there's this corpse everywhere. I guess they wanted to make it more child-friendly. Staring at the Disney product, the other ones don't want to sell toys. So they did edit it out to make it more child-friendly to target the younger audience. But overall, it still was a great movie.
Yeah, I want to see it. I definitely want to check it out. And, for anyone out there who does, a little bit of day trade nonsense, the movie made fucking $7 billion so far. So far, it's a raging success.
So, Disney is their and everything. What they took was the goals. Star Wars global franchise. Wow.
Yeah, this is definitely a money franchise for them. Absolutely.
It's a preview. They show Transformers number 15. I don't know who's watching these movies, how they're coming out. Mark Wahlberg still getting done, but Make it going.
Yeah, the whole I don't know. I'm a little bit against the fucking rerunning and resubmitting and just redoing movies that used to be good. It just gets old after a while. I want something fresh. Remaking Ninja Turtles, the remaking Transformers, the remaking this, the remaking that. It gets old, and I understand why they do it because Hollywood's a business and they're gonna put money behind something that's like it's a known commodity. They know that a certain amount of people are gonna go see a Transformer movie, regardless if it's just a pile of shit. Speaking of which, Will Smith's newest movie, one of the reviews it got from the Boston Globe was the worst movie of the year.
He's another one. I haven't seen a Will Smith movie in years, and I don't plan on seeing one for years. He's big speak. Let him move on. I'm going to Sunset. I'm sorry, I don't want to hear his name anymore.
Oh, come on, man. Fucking Men in Black 10 is going to be great. Just watch.
You see that movie? I don't know what it was. He was with his son. They were in some, jungle planet. It was the worst fucking movie I've ever seen.
Oh, After Earth. Nick,
oh, my God. Unwatchable. Unwatchable.
Nick, were you in that movie class with me in St. John's with Professor, what the fuck was his name? Matthew DePietro or something like that? And
never heard of the guy.
Well, it was a movie class at St. John's, and we were like, "Oh, what's your favorite movie? It's the best movie of all time." And it's like Citizen Kane, Gone with the Wind, and there's one hipster chick with like half a shaved head and like fucking piercings all over her face. She's like, After Earth is like the best movie ever.
Wow, that's quite a statement. I never heard of the movie.
Yeah, it's like one of those fucking with the DVD. Fucking Will Smith wanted to make a movie with a little kid. It's retarded, but I guess for each their own. I guess.
Bernie Sanders rallies. Is she one of those?
Oh yeah, she can't wait to go out and get oppressed. She's essentially living the life of Lena Dunham. Oh, I wish I would have gotten an abortion. Sean, what's your take on Lena Dunham?
She's a creature. She looks like she was conceived in Mordor or something. And I don't. She's like, I'm an aggressive hipster that wants to jam your opinions down your throat. She has to have a following somewhere because she's relevant. I mean, I don't know why people listen to what she has to say, but someone does. We've heard her. She's on the fucking news. So it's pretty strange, but yeah, she's relevant. She's there. Hopefully she goes away soon.
Did you, so I don't know how many of our listeners or you and Nick, how familiar with Lena Dunham and how terrible she is, but in her autobiography, she actually writes about how she used to explore, quote unquote, with her younger sister. She molested her younger sister, and then she wrote about it in her book, but not in like an apologetic way, in like not like a braggadocious way either, but like in this weird avant-garde, like, oh, isn't that funny that I used to, finger my sister? What the fuck, man? And the fact that the media like just pretends like that's fine, that's okay, and tries to portray her as important or relevant or whatever is like just some of the most ridiculous shit I've ever heard.
I wasn't aware of that.
Well, a guy on Reddit called her Lena Fist Your Sister Dunham, and I didn't understand it, and then I Googled it, and then I figured it out. Like, oh, that makes sense. Fucking creepy ass weirdo that she is.
I'm looking at her Wikipedia right now just for research purposes. She's not really attractive.
Oh no, she is the worst set of tits on maybe in Hollywood.
And I'm looking at her filmography here. It's pretty limited. She plays in HBO's where she got her, her start. She's got maybe like 5 or 6 things here. She's pretty limited filmography. I don't even get where her appeal is.
Yeah, I don't get why she's famous either. But... Oh, so we got Andrew. Andrew, you there?
Yeah, this right here. Is this John?
Finally, we got the man of many names here. Some I know him as Andrew Hershkowitz. Some I know him as Aaron Hershkovitz. Some I know him as the Hirsch. Some I know him as the Hershinator, and some I know him as Chris Sims' bitch boy. Andrew, welcome to the show. How was Chipotle today?
Yeah, I was gonna say I prefer Chris Sims as the Chipotle delivery boy, but I'm willing to take all of that if I get a free burrito. I'll do many things for a free burrito, as
Oh,
well as
many things.
walk to many things. As well as walk 2 blocks in the New York cold. But it's not that bad. I've been called worse.
So, for those of you that don't know, the Hirsch over here, he's a big Georgia Southern fan. Used to work for Pro Football Focus, charting their plays, and he knows these crazy football stats. And he used to work at Sirius with your boy Frank Isola, John. And he's just an all-around crazy guy.
You're really building me up here, Nick.
Well, I told everybody that you have some crazy football tidbits for us about this season, including one about when the Browns played the Cowboys earlier this year. Why don't you go ahead and share that with everybody?
Yeah, it was the first time that 2 players with the same last name got ejected in the same fight. Kevin Irving and David Irving both got ejected from the game. I know this is very very current and very relevant, so I decided to make sure you brought that up, and we speak about it 2 minutes into my first appearance on this show.
Absolutely. And John, can you believe that 2 guys with the same name got ejected?
That's not that crazy. I'm surprised that the last name wasn't like Smith or Brown or Williams or something, but
that's what makes it even more crazy. So one of the themes of our show here this season, Andrew, has been don't make Tom Brady mad. Why don't you let everybody know what the Patriots accomplished this past weekend that has never been done before?
I feel like I'm being tested right now, Nick. I did produce a stat story on this week. As a Jets fan, it really hurt me to the core, but I'm kind of used to it already. They won 8 straight division titles, which is the most in history. 7 straight buys, first round buys, which is the most. And Tom Brady and Bill Belichick have won 14. What is it? Yeah, 14 division titles, which is double the amount of the next quarterback coach combo, which is Chuck Noll and I believe Terry Bradshaw. So, I mean, as much as I despise the Patriots and everything they stand for, I mean, it's hard to not kind of respect the way they go about things on the field. I don't know about off the field with the media and all that other crap. That probably doesn't end up mattering in terms of wins and losses, but, we're fans, so.
Sean will actually be able to back me up on this as well. I don't know if you guys heard the news this week, but Anderson Hernandez's lawyer, he used the defense that maybe the Russians hacked us over.
That's correct. More out there. So which would bring his murder count 5. That's 2 more actions.
Yeah, listen, 5 murders. That's like, double OJ. That's not a big deal.
Anyway, moving on to more relevant stuff. So, Andrew, we got the playoffs picture is really shaping into shape here for the most part. It's pretty open in both conferences for the wild cards, except the Giants have it locked up. Who do you see making the playoffs here in the AFC and the NFC?
In the NFC, I am very happy that you think the Giants have it locked up, even though it's probably right. You're probably right about that. I like to know that you're not seeing any possibility of a gut punch coming. So it's good to know that you think they have that locked up. But
who's going to catch them to knock them out? 2 teams would have to do that.
Yeah, I know you guys would have to lose to Philly this week, which I don't think is out of the realm of possibility whatsoever.
I think there's a good shot Philly wins this tomorrow.
Oh, come on. Get the fuck out of here.
Well, it's good to know that we're setting precedent on the show, and I could say whatever I want.
Even so, Andrew, if the Giants lost out, which could happen, I don't see them being jumped by 2 teams.
Yeah, you're probably right. I'm just messing with you. I'm trying to play the Nick Durst heel role, but I can't do it as well as you.
So, listen to this, John. On our Facebook Live shows, this guy over here starts a rumor and gets me called out on air saying I start trouble around the office.
I didn't say that. I kind of just agreed with what our host Adam Lefko said and made him more fervent in his point. But come on, I mean, who are we kidding here?
Listen, just because you're a big North Dakota State fan and love your FCS football does not mean you could be going around spewing out these things. But, all right, so you say the Giants are not making
Right.
it. What two teams
No,
are making it?
No, the Giants are making it. I'm just messing with you. The Giants will make it. And for the wild card, I'm probably gonna. I think Green Bay is gonna win that division. So right now they're in the 6th seed. But if I had to choose one team,
I'm a Lions fan. To interrupt. Do you think Green Bay is going to win the division? I'm wondering on the Lions' playoff chances at the last bit of talent.
Green Bay is definitely winning the division. I agree with you, Hirsch. They're not going to lose again.
I don't. I think Aaron Rodgers and his thick ass eyebrows can't carry that crappy team. And you know what? I believe in the magic, the fourth quarter magic of the Lions. Listen, they didn't work against the Giants, but that's because Theo Riddick wasn't there. Riddick is phenomenal.
Well, listen, the Packers' upcoming schedule is they got the Vikings, who suck, okay, this week. And then they take on the Lions. If they could beat the Lions got to play the Cowboys and then the Packers. So I'm rooting for the Lions, but I just don't know if they're gonna be able to hold on. It's gonna come down to week 17. I think Aaron Rodgers is gonna beat the Lions.
right? So if the Lions find a way to beat Dallas this week, then I think they could win the wild card. Just because this game really doesn't, the Lions Cowboys game really doesn't matter in the grand scheme of things in terms of the NFC North, as long as Green Bay beats Minnesota this week, because Green Bay owns the tiebreaker. So I could see Detroit making it at 10-6, but at 9-7, it's going to be awfully difficult. I'm not the biggest Tampa Bay fan, but especially because we saw what happened in the fourth quarter with their offensive line. I think that's one of the worst units of any playoff contender out there. And going into the Dome against Breeze this week is definitely going to be a tough matchup. But they do have a home game in Week 17 against Carolina. And, I mean, Carolina's playing well now, but who knows how hard they're playing in Week 17. It's really a toss-up, and you're putting me on the spot. But and Nick, I haven't been a Redskins believer all year. You asked me where they would rank in terms of NFC East at the beginning of the year, and I've been saying 4 all year until Philadelphia just blew up and lost offensive linemen and whatnot. But if I had to choose one, I'd probably say Tampa Bay, and I think that'd be the best for everybody because I think they're a more entertaining team than Detroit is.
Well,
yeah, especially if you have any frozen crab on sale. That shit's going right away.
Well, before the season, I told you, Andrew, I thought the Redskins were the best team in the division. I was a little wrong, but they do have a good quarterback. I think the Redskins will get in the 6th spot. And I think they'll lose right away in the first round of the playoffs. So as of now, the Giants would be going to Detroit to take on the Lions. I think the Giants would easily win that game. The Packers are going to take on the Falcons. The Packers are going to win that game. The Falcons and Lions are not two teams in the playoffs that I think are going to win.
But back to your Redskins point, I actually think they're going to lose at Chicago this week. That's just it's a bold take, but I don't see. I mean, we saw what Jonathan Stewart did to the Redskins on Monday night, and teams have been running all over Washington this entire year. And Jordan Howard is one of the best running backs that.
Well, I told you. I said Jordan Howard's the best rookie running back.
Oh man, I wouldn't go that far, but yeah, he's up there in terms of one of the best running backs that maybe people who don't play fantasy football, people who don't actually watch football even or pay attention to teams outside of the Patriots or Cowboys that they might not know about. But I agree with you with Detroit. I just think they've been walking a tightrope all year. It's difficult to win the way they win, even though the way they do win is they take care of the ball, they hold on to the ball for a long time, and they limit the amount of possessions each team has. But I don't think that's going to play well against the best teams, and I mean we'll see. We'll see what happens.
How about I told everybody these crazy facts. How about that record-setting performance by Stafford 2 weeks ago? You remember that crazy stat?
Oh, that yeah. Matthew Stafford wore a career high 4 gloves in that game 2 weeks ago.
That's just insane. But all right, so you got the NFC. you're saying Tampa Bay and the Giants, although you do think the Giants could fall out and be replaced by who? The Redskins, the Vikings, the Lions, something like that?
Nick, they're not gonna fall out, man. That's just me hoping.
Well, speaking of the Giants, I gotta get your take on this, and John's. Why are the Giants getting a huge fine for using a freaking walkie-talkie and making their 4th-round pick go to the end of the round? That's bullshit.
I remember reading a reason why. I don't remember what it was, but I remember it making somewhat a sense, like some amount of sense, which is kind of out of the character of the NFL in terms of their rules, because a lot of the rules don't make sense. But I think, okay, I remember now. And no, I didn't look this up. I actually remember it from the top of my head. I mean, I'm trying to look it up now. But I remember it was something to do with that the communication between the coaches and the players, or the coaches upstairs and the coaches downstairs are off once the play clock hits 15 seconds. So once the play clock gets to 15 seconds, they're not allowed to talk to each other. But if they have walkie-talkies, obviously that's another mode of communication that they could use, and apparently that's illegal. So that's the reason they were fined.
I thought they told the ref, so I thought that was okay, but whatever. It's not a huge deal. If the Patriots did this, forget it. It'd be another huge story. Everyone would be calling it Gate for no reason. Gate. I hate when they call these controversies Gate. You know,
yeah.
It was Watergate because it was called the Watergate Hotel. After that, stop calling it Gate. It makes no sense.
I'm much more in favor of Ball-Ghazi than Deflategate. So yeah, I definitely feel you on that.
This is my take on the whole NFL nonsense. How come Ezekiel Elliott can just jump into shit and not get a fine?
Beckham would have been fined like $100,000 if he did that.
Well,
So I just think that was ridiculous as well. But let's look at the AFC picture here. Right now, the Dolphins and Chiefs have the wild card spots. Ravens, who I don't think anybody's really believed in all year, are tied with the Titans and Broncos at 8-6. And then, of course, the AFC South is a mess. Colts are right in at 7-7. And you also, of course, have the division leader led by Tom Savage, the Texans at 8-6.
Yeah.
So Savage is a savage. But Andrew, who do you have making the playoffs in the AFC? And you think the Raiders will hold on to this 2 seed?
Well, we'll deal with your Raiders question first. The Raiders' upcoming schedule: they're home against Indianapolis, which I was shocked to see they're only a 3.5-point favorite at home against Indianapolis. But they're home against Indianapolis, and then they're at Denver. So I think they can, and I think it's going to be a matter of if Denver wins this week. If Denver wins this week, then I think Denver is going to make the playoffs. I think they're the best team out of any of those wild card contenders. They have the best unit of any of those wild card defenders in their defense. And Simeon has actually played very well this year. It's just the fact they can't get any running game going and that their creativity on offense has been limited. But if Denver does lose this week, I would – this is going to shock you guys, because if anyone would have said at the beginning of the year that Houston and Tennessee, 2 teams from the AFC South, would make the playoffs, that you would have called me crazy. But that has a real big chance of happening this year, because if the Broncos lose at Kansas City and the Dolphins lose at Buffalo, and then the 2 AFC South teams, Tennessee at home against Cincinnati and Tennessee at Jacksonville, take care of business, then they are going to be in the position to win the wild card and the South. I don't know if that's the best in terms of entertainment value, but I think we all won when Brock Osweiler was benched, because there was no way even though we get paid to watch this, Nick, like I literally would avert my eyes from the television to watch Brock Osweiler play a playoff game.
Listen, I've been really high on the Titans all year. I definitely want them to get in. And the Steelers, I think, will win their division. How about this? The Chiefs lose their last 2 games, and then the Titans get in. I mean, that'd be an epic collapse, but it's very possible. They got the Broncos, like you mentioned, and they got the Chargers, who put up a ton of points.
Yeah, I'm done doubting this Chiefs team, though. Like I haven't been a believer in this Chiefs team for years, and I'm still not a believer. I don't think that they're going to make the AFC title game, but they always find a way, whether it be getting turnovers, return touchdowns, blocked field goals. They find a way to win these games, and at a certain point, it becomes part of your DNA. And I don't see them collapsing. Even if they lose out, I still don't trust the other two teams and any other team to take advantage of it. A team we haven't mentioned is Miami. They're the team. They're the team I don't want to make it. Not just because I'm a Jet fan, but because they're boring. I don't want to watch them. The only interesting thing about their team is Ndamukong Suh killing somebody on the field. Potentially killing somebody.
But before we get to, obviously, we're going to talk some Jets with you and the Knicks talk, which we've been dying to get to. Give me your Super Bowl matchup right now. I know you definitely don't have the Patriots there. You told me you don't. And you definitely have the Cowboys there. Or the Packers. I would say the Packers right now is my choice. Yeah. What do you got?
Yeah. You want to keep guessing?
All right, you got the Packers taking on the Steelers.
I do.
Me too. We're on the same page there.
That's what happens when you sit at the same table every day.
I know. So John, what you got?
Boring.
What do you got? Giants, Patriots, is sticking with it?
Yeah, absolutely sticking with it. The Patriots are hands down the best team in the AFC. The rest of the AFC is just a dumpster fire. The Steelers are all right when Big Ben's not raping and not hurt. But, I'm not afraid. I watched the Giants lose to the Steelers. I'm not really afraid of them. I've watched the New England Patriots just slap people around with their backup quarterback. You got Tom Brady in there. He's just gonna tear it up. I'm not afraid of anybody in the AFC, challenging them too much. Then in the NFC, I'm not afraid of Aaron Rodgers. Their defense.
Destroyed the Giants this season.
Yeah, whatever. He can throw the ball around a shit ton, but their defense sucks.
This is how I'm looking at it. The Giants are going to beat the Lions in the first round. Then they got to go to Seattle. I don't think they could beat Seattle in Seattle. If it was in MetLife, they'd win. The Packers are going to beat the Falcons. Then they're going to go to Dallas, destroy the Cowboys, and then they're going to beat the Seahawks like they should have last year or 2 years ago, whatever that was, with the onside kick thing. And they're going to get to the Super Bowl.
Sean, who do you got?
NFL would absolutely love round 3 New England Giants matchup. Should be. I honestly don't see the Packers winning that team. Cowboys Giants spot. Don't factor out Seattle. Very at home, they're unreal. But a lot of Russell Wilson showing up or not. It's a pretty open field. I love the Giants. The Lions hopefully get out of the first round, and realistically, they're not.
Yeah, I just got to say I agree with the 30% of what I heard just now. So.
I gotta say though, the Packers, they started the year off so shitty. I know they've gotten hot, and what have you done for me lately?
All you gotta do is watch the stat story I put out that said Aaron Rodgers started off the same way in 2011. They won the Super Bowl, or 2000 whatever it was. Yeah, 2011.
How many gloves did he wear?
22. They won in 2001. Anyway.
Just to be factually correct, the Super Bowl was in 2011. It was technically the 2010 season.
Right, exactly. I was correct when I said they won Super Bowl 2011. So, Andrew, what's the deal with the Jets? Is Fitzpatrick going to play this week? Who do you want to quarterback? Who should they draft? I've been telling you they're going to get Cam Robinson. What do you think?
They're going to get Cam Robinson to play quarterback?
Yeah.
Okay, so this week, if Fitzpatrick's not going to start, I mean, they already named Petty the starter, but oh god, I mean, I just recorded a whole hour podcast about the Jets, so I'm kind of done talking about them. But if you insist,
all right, so just tell me this: is Bowles the guy for next year?
I don't see how firing him will help anything.
All right, fair enough. And then this is the last football question here. Make it quick because we're running out of time. We got to talk about the next. Tom Coughlin, is he going to the Bills or is he going to the Jaguars?
He's going to go to the Jaguars as one of those football czars. He's not going to be a coach, but he's going to be the guy who controls oversees David Caldwell and everybody else. I just think it's getting too cold for Tom Coughlin, even though it is Jacksonville.
Pretty low for Jacksonville. He's going to retire there. So the greatest coach of all time, John. What do you think about Coughlin?
Listen, I like the way that he's handled himself after essentially getting asked to step down. It's sad to see because I do think that he probably is a little too old. But listen, he has a crazy work ethic. Until he actually does do some shit that an old man does and gets confused or something, none of the Giants not making the playoffs last year, I don't blame that on Coughlin. I blame that on Reese. And,
Absolutely.
making a move is fine, but they should have got rid of Reese when they were making moves. Because now you give him a new head coach. What if it doesn't work out? I don't like the half measures. I like either cleaning house or not. I think making McAdoo the offensive coordinator was a mistake because you undermined fucking Tom Coughlin. And then when it didn't work out, you go, I guess Tom Coughlin sucks. It was overly conservative, which the Giants do all the time.
Exactly. All right, Andrew, we got about 4 minutes left in our show. I want you to give us your take on the New York Knicks.
Oh, wow. My take on the Knicks is that it's good to see that they're interesting and that they're fun to watch. And yes, they're frustrating. Last night's game was a perfect example. I was throwing things at my television in the third quarter. But they have 3 legitimate top 80 players, if you want to say Rose, but 2 top 30 players right now. And of course, we know in the NBA, that's what it's all about. And they have a lot of good young players on cheap contracts. Phil did very well on the margins this summer with Ron Baker, our boy Kuzminskis, Hernan Gomez, Justin Holiday. Kyle O'Quinn was he did bring in Kyle O'Quinn a couple of summers ago. And Courtney Lee was a great signing. Obviously, Joakim Noah is the fucking just nuclear bomb in all of this. But it's fun to see that the Knicks are going to be competitive and that they're going to make the playoffs. It's just matter of the matchup in the first round.
My take is they suck. Derrick Rose, I'm surprised he's only missed 5 games so far this season. He'll have a season-ending injury soon. The starting 5 should be Ron Baker, Justin Holiday, Porzingis, Melo, and Joakim Noah, and you just take it from there. See what happens. John, what's your take?
See, I actually hate this. I prefer if the Knicks would just fucking suck and do what the 76ers did, essentially just take a fucking knee on the season. Because the idea of, we're going to make the playoffs as the 8th seed, great, so that we can go get, demolished. They won't be able to show our playoff games on YouPorn because they don't let you show rape, because that's how bad we are compared to the top-tier teams. You can't get anywhere in a league where you're like, well, this young guy is all right, blah, blah, blah. Years ago you could, but you can't anymore.
Okay, they should trade him right now.
Who, Melo?
Derrick Rose.
If you can get anything for him.
He's on an expiring contract. No one's really going to give up much for him. But to what John just said, there's an argument to be made that that's the right course of action, but it's unrealistic with Melo on the roster. So you have to take what the reality is. And the reality is that this guy wants to win now. And the Knicks' best case scenario is that they put a good enough effort in the postseason to convince a guy like Chris Paul to come here. That is the long game. If they could convince another star to come play with Melo and Porzingis, then if they get a guy like Chris Paul, then they're title contenders.
I've been hearing this. We're gonna convince LeBron to come here. We're gonna convince Kevin Durant to come here. I'm done playing that game. I don't want to convince people anymore. I think it's cool.
The difference is that the Knicks didn't have Porzingis when those guys were available, and Durant was never an option. LeBron was never an option. I was never believing in that. I actually believe Chris Paul might be an option just because. That would be
amazing.
Yeah. But can I finish my point, Mr. Durst?
Yeah, real quick. We got about 30 seconds.
Yeah. So the fact that it's obvious that there's a strained relationship between Paul and the 2 big men in the Clippers makes it legitimately possible that he wants out. That's what I would say.